So we're going to do some stuff in Unity here. Before we get started though, we need to do a little bit of housekeeping. The thing about Unity projects is they're quite big, so you need to check that you've got some space available. Now I'm not in a student account, so I can't show you exactly what it looks like for you, but I can give you some indication. First thing I would suggest is that you right click and empty your recycle bin, because what's in your recycle bin actually counts towards your quota. Then you need to go to this PC in this file explorer, and you need to have a look and see how much space you've got available on your sort of main home drive. If it's looking like this, red with just a tiny bit of space at the end, you're probably going to have a bit of a disaster with Unity. So you need to get some stuff cleared up. It's not always the easiest thing to find out what's taking up all the space. One thing that you can do is you can go to your documents, and up here you can do a wildcard search. So you could search for star.start, and that searches for every file. And then if you go into the details view and you can sort by size, you've probably got a lot less files than me, but it should filter the biggest files to the top. So I've got some pretty monstrous sized files here. I should really delete some of those. So yeah, that will be a good start, and then hopefully you'll get to a point and be able to look at your documents folder and it won't be red, there'll be a bit of space in there. Then we actually finally get to start into Unity. So opening up Unity, which for me it's opening up on this window over here. There we go. You will probably need to sign into a Unity account first. So I'm already signed in. You need to sign into an account. I'll forget what the dialogue looks like, but it should be pretty obvious. Use your school account. It's a Google account, so it'll just work. Sign up with Google and go in and you're good to go. Then, when you have done that, you need to make a new project. There is a little bit of a fishhook here. Obviously we need to give it a meaningful name, and I'm going to give it the name Tutorial1 probably. I'm going to guess. I'm going to get 2, 3, whatever. Yeah, here's the little bit of a fishhook. It's got this location, and I've got a feeling that for you guys it defaults to your documents folder. Now the thing about your documents folder is it's like this one here. It's got this / internal.pakuranga.school.nz blah 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 blah, and this is quite a long path. One of the funny things about Windows, funny haha, is that it's got restrictions on how long the path can be to any particular file, and when you bung all of this at the beginning of a path, you can end up with problems, and it can be a real horrible bug to sort of find and sort out. So the answer is to find the folder instead. I have a feeling that yours says like H drive maybe, or something like that. It doesn't actually put... I think there's a way that you can get in and you don't get all of that stuff at the beginning. I can't remember. This one isn't always a good option because it says documents, but I think that's just it's even worse. Anyway, good luck with that. I'm pretty sure you'll find something, and you know, if you can't work out what's going on, give it a go, and maybe it'll break. And you know, that's the fun of Unity. And anyway, so I'm lucky. I've got a D drive, which I know just gives me the D, and I've even put a Unity folder into my D drive, and I'm going to make a new folder for this Tutorial1. Select folder, all looking tickety-boo. 3D package, create project. And it's going to take a little while maybe, or is it just going to fire me straight in? There are points at which Unity takes a little while. Yeah, it's doing a thing at the moment. Says blah 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 blah. A little bit of patience, and opened up in the wrong window again, because it always does. Come on over here. A little bit of fighting with Unity windows, and here we are. So the last part of this first video is just having a look at what we've got going on here. We've got the default window layout. I recommend sticking with the default window layout. There are some other options here. Everything that you need is in front of you. And it makes it easier for me when I arrive at your computer to try and help you out if I can just like see where everything is. Don't have to go looking. In this space in the middle is kind of, it shows you what you're looking at the moment. It defaults to the asset store because they want you to buy stuff. You will spend most of your time in this window, the scene window. This game window can be a little bit confusing because it looks a lot like the scene window, but you can't, there's a few restrictions on what you can do in here. So stick with the scene window. And over here on the left, this is the current scene hierarchy of objects, the list of objects which are in the scene. And as you can see at the moment, we've got a camera. That's that thing, which is showing us the camera preview down here. And there's a light in our scene. So we can move these things around if we want to. Mostly you don't. And actually, when we add a first-person controller, that comes with its own camera. So we'll just delete this camera at that point anyway. But anyway, so we're going to add a whole bunch more things into here. There'll be the ground, there'll be the objects that we're looking at, whatever. So they'll all be in here. So that's one place where we've got a bunch of assets. Down here is the project window. And that's another place where we've got a bunch of assets and useful stuff. And it also includes assets which aren't currently in this scene. So we'll see what that looks like later. This is just another little view. It's like the File Explorer view, you know, like this bit here relates to this bit here. And this bit over here is like this bit over here. See what I mean? Anyway, whatever. And then the last thing that's of significant interest here is, yet again, because they want you to buy stuff like services, analytics, and so on, they open this window up in your face. You absolutely don't want this window. You never look at it. The window that you look at all the time is the inspector, and the inspector tells you the properties of the object you're currently looking at. So, for instance, if I click on the main camera, it tells me where the main camera is located in space, X, Y, Z. And rotation and scale are things that we'll probably look at a little bit later. And then depending on what it is, like this one just happens to be a camera, so it's got a bunch of stuff to do with camera things, which I have no idea what any of those are, and I've never touched them, and I don't expect that I ever will. So yeah, that's that. And the light has also got light, it's got a position, and it's got light specific stuff. Some of this could be useful, I guess. If you're going for a particular effect, you could get rid of shadows. I've never really looked at this, never fiddled with lighting, but that's the great thing about Unity. You have so many things that you can fiddle with. So that's a first start. So that means you're now in a place ready to do some work. That'll be the next video.